Today we're going to go over a garden-style apartment and with our hotel pack and deploying the hotel pack and some options for supplying the water to the hotel pack itself. So just some considerations when we're deploying this is as we're getting out of the engine, the captain and the firefighter are usually going to be getting their bottles on and finish getting dressed. So this gives the engineer some time to get out and actually set us up for some success. So as the firefighter's getting dressed, he'll meet in the back. He'll bring his irons to the back. The captain's going to be getting dressed on the opposite side here. By the time we get to the back, the engineer should be working on getting the hotel pack out. The captain will take the hotel pack. He'll take the irons. And the captain will go to where the fire is. He'll be able to get some recon in, get a good 360, and be able to drop the hotel pack where he wants the supply line to be placed. Now, there's a couple different options we can do for supply. Like I said, we can use the crosslays. What we're limited to 200 feet on those. We can also use the rear 250 inch and 3/4, or we'll use the 2.5, which we're going to do in this situation. So the engineer will get the firefighter, his hose, to be deployed. And we're going to estimate the stretch. So from here, we're going to see the fire coming out of the building here. So we're going to estimate it's going to be about 100 feet that they're going to need to supply this. So the officer will drop the hotel pack where they want the connection to be made, roughly in the area. The firefighter will then make this connection with the hotel pack while the captain completes his 360 and his recon of the building. The reason we brought the irons up is because the captain, when he's doing his 360, can leave these near the door. So when we're ready to force a door, we're there together. So right now the firefighter, he's setting up to deploy the hotel pack. He's going to undo all the Velcro straps and he's going to fillet this open. He's going to take his female coupling, connect it to the trunk line. And when he's ready for water on this 2.5, he's going to make sure that the bail's closed. That's open right now. The bail's closed. He's going to call for water. The 2.5 could fill while this is still dry and can be deployed up the stairs. So at this point, the firefighter would take that stack with the 50-foot stack with the nozzle attached, and he could put that on his shoulder. He can carry it up the stairs.
Ready for water.
And now the water can be sent from the nozzle down there whenever the firefighter's ready. And we have 50 feet of working line at our door to fight fire. We'll have our irons up here at the top. So if need be, the captain and firefighter can force the door together. And the second engine should be bringing a hook and an attic ladder in case we need to look for any extension. All right, for this next deployment, we're going to simulate having a long walkway with multiple doors where our staircase might not be conveniently located next to our building that's on fire or our apartment that's on fire. So what we'll do is we'll come up. Our firefighter is actually going to stop short of the stairs, and he's going to find a location that's most convenient to our fire room on the second or even third story floors. So the captain will come up here. The captain's actually going to be the one that deploys this. Initially, we're going to open the same way, fold one to the other, and we're going to drop our female coupling down to our firefighter so they can make the connection. They're already down there with their nozzle closed, and they're called for water. So up here, if I have the time, I'm going to grab my nozzle, my coupling, and I'm going to walk towards my fire door to have my 50 feet of hose for fighting fire. After my bell's closed, I'm going to signal to my firefighter for water. Water's going to come. I'll meet him up here. So whenever we have hose aloft, we want to do our best to keep this hose from falling down, especially when it's charged with water. We're going to have a lot more weight here, and sometimes this weight can overtake the actual weight that we have on top. So there's different ways. A lot of people carry webbing. Some people, I just carry a loop here, a Phoenix loop, and you could just lark's foot it around the hose. Tie around itself and clip onto itself. This will tighten up as it gets weight on there, and it'll hold this up from sliding down. So one more thing I want to just cover real quick is that when we are going hose aloft, it's a very good practice to go over the top of the rail when we can, and that's usually the best option. A lot of people will find it very convenient to go through the rails or even through the bottom of the rail, which with this hose may or may not be a problem because it is relatively small compared to the opening here, but we're also going to have a very, very sharp bend coming out of this, and this is not going to have the ability to come up, so you can cause kinks or even get your hose wedged in here. So it's always best practice when available to go over the top of the rail and not through or underneath it. All right, I wanted to just touch back on some considerations for tactics and strategies when deploying these lines. Just things to consider, and these are just guidelines, tools for the toolbox. There's not one way to do these scenarios and these deployments. It's really going to come down to what's in your first in and where you need to, what kind of hose you need to deploy. But just want to retouch on having the firefighter grab the tools, and the captain would grab the hotel pack and the irons to meet at the door. But then also keep in mind that you'd want to let your second in engine know to bring a hook and an attic ladder in case you do need it, because we're going to have such long stretches to our fire building that, you know, going back to get those tools might be time consuming. Other things to consider is hose aloft, so make sure we're tying it off, and then what size line we're going to pull and our overall stretch length. And that's part of the reason why the officer is going to carry that hotel pack and not the firefighter, because he'll get a good chance to get a recon, and he can radio back to give a good idea of what the stretch is going to be, which will dictate, you know, what line they're going to pull.